What's going on, guys? I'll give you a little peek of kind of where I'm at. This is Atlantic City Casino here in Lima, Peru. Decent size. They're fairly strict with the mask stuff, but if you get into a restaurant, it's not so bad. I wanted to review some of the staking projects that I've been in. Those are ones that I haven't done as much like updating with some of those as I probably should have. Like I just started checking into like my CREX account. So like CREX is a MasterNode staking project on or you are not a MasterNode staking project, but rather an exchange. It's not very favorable to Americans, but you can get in here and trade some of these staking projects, MasterNodes. And so what I've done is, I have them here in my like Cryptos account, cryptos.io, and so you can kind of stake some of these lower or not as well known coins, and some of them have different rates of return, and they can be a little bit risky. Like a few of the ones that I got into dumped quite a bit in price, so that ended up not working out so well, and it would probably be better to stick to ones that probably have a little bit more liquidity behind them or a little bit bigger, and it's hard to ignore what's going on with HEX. I think HEX has a tremendous amount of potential, especially with the new pulse chain coming out. I mean, the chart looks really healthy. Volume is starting to really pick up, and we saw it break above 10 cents. It's one I got in when it first was first around in the first month or so, and staked for quite a long time. So you're not really seeing or realizing some of the profits. It's more of like a long-term play. So the last like videos I've been doing, we're kind of talking about how like my focus has been on trading with some of the leverage bots that I have, and some of the other trading bots, and those are ones where you can realize the profits very you can see it in your account, right, and you can take it out at any time. Whereas some of the masternode projects, these staking projects, aren't working quite the same, or you're going to need to exchange them for a token to be able to get out of the exchange, and most of it's on Bitcoin, unfortunately, and so the fees are going to be a little bit higher. If you wanted to pull funds off the exchange with any of these masternode projects. So HEX, like I kind of was talking before, that I've got a grid bot that is running on Bbox. A few other guys, now that I've done that video, are going to be doing the same thing, so maybe the liquidity will be a little bit higher on that exchange. It's amazing to me that you don't see a project like HEX on in some of the other markets. It's mostly on DEXs and a few exchanges like HitBTC's got quite a bit of volume, but HitBTC is a super scammy exchange. So I'm surprised it's not on other exchanges, because it's it's one where you have a guy that is in charge of the project that openly challenges pretty much anyone and everyone in the space to challenge him on his knowledge of of crypto in general. So it's always interesting to see what he's got to say, and to see his rebuttals to people that attack him, because he does get quite a lot of people that don't have the most favorable opinion of him, perhaps because he comes off as a little overconfident, arrogant, on the borderline arrogant. But I've always liked him. I always learn something from him. I think he's incredibly smart, and I think you can learn from those guys. And it also is a project that is just done phenomenally well. It's going to be one that I probably put in, maybe $1,000, maybe not even that, and it could end up turning into $1 million investment from when I put it in when the launch. What was the launch? Was that 2019? I guess is when it launched, or maybe it was 2018. I can't remember now. December, I think December 2019. Is that when it launched? Yeah, that was when it was. December 2019. So that was about when I got in. But I think the all of the opportunity that we might see on the Pulse chain network is going to be really interesting to see, because there's going to be all of these opportunities in these ERC20 tokens, particularly with providing liquidity, because it's going to be so new. So that's one I'm going to be looking at pretty closely. I don't know, it's massive in terms of its size, and the HEX community is still a relatively small niche community. So I'm wondering, how well adopted something like that is going to be, in the crypto space in general. But if it, the one problem that I've always kind of had with HEX is it's a little bit difficult to like realize profits with it, like if you are staked, right? So you can hold the tokens and you can trade the tokens, but the real beauty is in staking, and with the transactional fees, it's just not feasible. And perhaps that changes with Pulse Chain, which could be massively bullish for a project that already has a solid reputation behind it when you're looking at just the price history and liquidity and the people that are involved with it. So HEX is one that I also think that there could be some really interesting side projects. Like I got involved with Hexy, and they're working on a lot of different things, kind of on the HEX ecosystem as like a second layer solution for projects to be built on top of HEX. Because there's a few that are out there, but I don't think we've seen quite what is possible, and so that one is that is a staking project, and you might look. A lot of these, you can look at it as farming in a way, or like having a you're providing capital in some of these with the hope that that not only does the token go up, but in this case that you're going to earn more of those tokens. So there's and when I'm looking at staking projects, I'm looking at HEX, I'm looking at the MasterNode projects. Another one might be Growth DeFi. So this is one that I had been doing quite a few videos on, and I know they've got some new developments that they've branched off into Binance Smart Chain, and they're also doing some different staking features. There's a lot of opportunity with some of these. There can be a lot of risk with some of the lesser known no-name projects, right? So that's where you need to be a little bit more wary. Because I'm just kind of like essentially gambling a little bit with some of these. I'll show you guys kind of some of the tokens that I got into with the MasterNodes. Cat's Coin, Azora, Bettler, Xnode. Xnode did not go very well. I think some of these other ones are just dust coins. So there's probably some other projects that have performed a little bit better. I haven't done quite the amount of research needed to be able to make that determination. I just kind of got into some of the bigger ones and some of the ones that were recommended to me. There's a Telegram group where this is talked about a little bit more in depth, so I'll be sure to link that after the stream. I'll leave a link for that group, because that can be a great resource. I want to see which one of these MasterNode coins is going to be one to perhaps build up quite a bit of liquidity, because it's proven itself. Like I see that with HEX. I don't know if I necessarily see it with some of the MasterNode coins. There's not really a name or a face behind them. There's not you don't have as much public representation for some of these projects. And I feel like that's pretty big with crypto, just because of the amount of scamminess that's in there. So if you have, you know, someone that's kind of leading the project, someone that's a little bit more public, and that's putting himself out there, that's going to count for something. Like a lot of these other ones, you know, it's a Telegram group, you know, it's online, a lot of anonymous people, and you know, not as much to be excited about, or you know, having more innovation behind these projects where it's going to give them some value. And then there was Wise token. That was one that I haven't even really checked into that. I have a tiny amount staked in that. But again, you know, you're dealing with the ETH gas fees, and I don't know if they expanded. I don't even know if I think I got kicked out of their like Telegram group. Yeah, I got banned from them. I have no idea why. I don't even think I posted anything in there. But you know, that was a guy that was like really hypercritical of HEX, of Richard Hart, because of some of the things that were going on. Sold all of his bags and started his own project. You know, I think he's got some interesting insights. I like watching a couple of his videos from time to time. But you know, that's another project that until you know, and until they have some of the transactional stuff, you know, fixed, it's I don't think we're going to see as much adoption in that. So anyways, okay. So I got to cut this stream a little bit short, but I just kind of wanted to do a little bit of an overview of some of those staking projects that I've been in. I'm looking to do a little bit more research on other ones. I've got a few that I'll be checking out, and you know, if you guys have you know, thoughts or suggestions, ones that you want me to check out, be sure to reach out to me in private or leave them in the description below. Other than that, appreciate you guys staying online. I think I'm going to try to get in the habit of doing these streams. I'm trying to figure out ways to kind of cut up some of the media and post more on some of the other social media. So I'm working on that. I'm hiring an Indian guy to help me with some of that workload. So hopefully I can kind of get some of that going. So all right, guys, appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next one.